All right, looks like everybody is still trickling in here, so we will go ahead and get started here with our special guest presenter, Fausto Pugliese of Cyber Trading University, CTU, here in just a few minutes. All right.
Test, test, test. Ready to get started.
All right, very good. All right, hey, thank you everybody for coming out today for How to Become an Expert Tape Reader with our good friend, CTU President and Founder, Fausto Pugliese. Andrew and I actually had the pleasure of going down and sitting down to dinner with Fausto a few weeks ago in Manhattan, in New York City, and got to talk over trading as well as some other things. So really, really pleased to welcome Fausto back today. A really good trader with a lot of really great insights to share. So, without further ado, I'll go ahead and pass the mic over to Fausto, and hope you all enjoy what he has to say.
Well, thank you very much, and John, it's been and Keen, Andrew, it's been a great experience, and thank you for having me back. And it's always a pleasure to be talking to everyone here from Keen on the markets. It's always great that you have to understand traders always like to work together, like to brainstorm and work together on what works well. Andrew obviously being a phenomenal options trader, but I could tell you this: he's probably a better dresser than an options trader. One thing I could tell you with Andrew, he's got a great haircut. If you haven't seen him, probably seen him on TV, and he always dresses nice. And that's one thing I could always compliment Andrew about it. And granted, he is a great trader. And and that tells you a lot about somebody because he wants to present himself to make you real. He appreciates what he does. And you always could tell somebody from the way they dress is the way they actually prepare for the market, because that's always been a big thing as traders go, just like any football coach that's out there, which you all know what I'm talking about there. And and it was great to meet him out there and brainstorm and and having me back. So let's get right into it, and let me talk a little bit about how to become an expert tape reader. Well, as you know, Andrew and myself, I was a market maker on the NASDAQ market, and Andrew being on the floor trader on the CBOE and being a phenomenal options trader. One thing we like to do as traders is that we've taken into initiative that we've done so well. Well, with all this electronic system going on, believe it or not, a lot of traders lost their job because we don't need traders anymore. You don't need floor traders. Everything's done electronically. But does it mean we still don't trade? We love to trade. We're great traders, and one thing we've learned is how to be a tape reader. A tape reader is going to show you how to keep things more simple and logical. So we're going to talk about a couple of things there, and before we do so, I just want to kind of change my slide here and kind of cover a couple of things, the things we're going to be learning. I'm going to talk about tape reading. I'm going to talk about high-frequency trading. I'm going to talk about brokerage firms, what things they don't want to tell you, about the tape reading, how to read level 1, 2, and 3, how to find the right data, stocks that we've traded, winners and losers over the course of the day, because it's part of understanding how the market works that's going to make you a better trader. Now, just a little bit to tell you about Cybertrade University. I am the founder and president. I've been teaching for over 20 years. Sounds like a lifetime, 20 years. But I was very young, just like Andrew is. I mean, I started when I was 22 years old. Basically mastered it in 2 years, and been doing it ever since. I basically was semi-retired at 24 years old, and that's how I kind of got into the education business. People always ask me, could you teach me how to trade? Could you teach me? And, that's how it came about. 2 great photos up there I'd like to share with you. The one on the left is obviously me ringing the closing bell with Steve Forbes, and that was not too long ago. That was this year. And the thing about this photo, which is very unique, is Steve Forbes wrote an article about a bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street, okay, and this was about 20 years ago. Now, I was one of those kids, so I was actually one of the founders, and if anyone reads any of the old books, they're called the So's Bandits. I was one of the original So's Bandits. There was about 1,000 of us when we started. Now there's over about 10 million. And basically what a So's Bandit is a day trader. That's all we are. Now, over the years, I've done everything I can to compete against every brokerage firm out there, every school out there. I'm a 12-time world champion, and my new book just came out. It's the first day trading book that hasn't been out in 20 years. It's called How to Beat Market Makers at Their Own Game. If anyone's interested, at the end of the presentation, I'll tell you how you can read about it. It's a great book. Not to say just because it's mine, but Wiley's been harassing me for it to make one. I don't know if anyone here has it, but I think you'll enjoy it. Now, to get into the education part of it, now you know a little bit about my history. I want to get to know a little bit about your history, okay? So could everyone just give me a chat back and let me know, what kind of trader are you? Are you an options trader, a stock trader, Forex trader? I don't know trader, I'm all the above trader. What kind of trader is everyone here? A lot of options traders, weekly options, do some stock trading. PR says, I'm just a trader. Okay, good. All right, now, granted, everyone, a lot of options traders here, and let me tell you, I love options. I love options better than swing trading, because the thing about options is that why buy when you can lease, right? But there's one little problem about options, and I know this is why Andrew always likes me to come on and talk to you guys, is that to be a really good options trader, if you learn how the movement of the stock moves, it's the movement of the stock that makes the option move. So this will give you like basically one step ahead of getting a game plan where to find it, which will give you a lot of great opportunities. Now, Andrew does a phenomenal job of telling you certain strategies. But sometimes I find people that always kind of ask and say, well, where can I find stocks? How do I find them? Well, that's what the tape reading comes into play. That's where I'm going to come in. I'm going to show you how we find these stocks, because everybody, I don't understand why they keep trading the same stocks over and over and over. Everyone's like, okay, what's the market doing? Let's trade Apple. Let's trade Apple. Let's trade Apple. Let's trade Apple. Let's trade Apple again. Let's trade Apple again. You know what I mean? There is another world out there that there are over 10,000 stocks out there that trade. Apple and Priceline and Tesla are not the only option stocks out there. You could day trade options. You can, but the thing is, if you knew what was moving, believe me, how much more better of an opportunity you would make out there, and you can make more money trading it. But you got to find the stock. So basically, we need to learn before we can do that. And one thing you have to understand is that a lot of traders will fail in trading for one reason and one reason only. They don't treat trading like a job. All right. When I ask everybody this question, I always get this question. I ask all my students, "Do you like trading?" I mean, stop and ask about it. I mean, do you like trading? When you lose money, do you quit trading? Everybody? No, of course not. That's right. You know, Alex, lumber liquidators, another great trade, right? Great option trade. No, of course not. You go back to work. You love it. Actually, losing money, honestly, I like losing money. I know it sounds crazy, but the thing is, you're going to lose. And the only way you're going to learn is from losing. You don't learn from winning. You learn from losing, so you don't do that again. You understand? That's what makes you a better trader. Okay? When people say that you can't do it, that pushes you even harder. You think, you know, and that's why me and Andrew, we were trained by some of the best traders on Wall Street. You think they came in our back and tapped us on the back, good job? You know, when you got yelled at and you did something wrong on the floor, you know, they know you're better than that, you know, and you learn from that, so you don't do that again, all right? And that's what, and the only way you do that is treat it like a job. Now, the big thing that people always want to look at, the first thing people always look, that's right, Alex, it keeps you honest. Thanks for sharing that. It really does. You just don't walk away and say, you know, I lost money, big deal, tomorrow's another day. No, you got to know why you lost money. You got to do your homework and prevent that from happening again. Now, one of the big things that we find, and I know Andrew talks about this also, is that you don't open up a brokerage account right away. You know, the thing is, you don't buy the car if you don't know how to drive. It's a great opportunity that everybody can go out there and trade their own account. But I always find that the first thing people do is they get sold. Some brokerage firm is giving some free trades and all this crazy stuff and open up this. Listen, brokerage firms, you know, online brokerage firms trade against you. I don't know if you know that, all right? And let me explain how they do that. Basically, they take your order and they'll sell it for something called payment for order flow. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, payment for order flow. It's when the brokerage firm is getting paid by another brokerage firm for the, you know, orders. So your brokerage firm is not even buying stock from you. Joan says that's very interesting. Yeah, some of you saying it's very, very interesting. Listen, it's interesting. It's embarrassing, and it's disrespectful. I mean, the thing is, why go out there and do a trade when someone else is doing it for you? Let me tell you how they do it. All right, here's a trade I did on Fairway. All right, I send the order in, and just look over here. Let me just show you how these brokerage firms made so much money on me on this trade. All right, so I do a trade, right? I buy the trade, all right, and you could see I placed the order right here at 11:27, all right, and basically I get an email at 11:29, all right. That's where I get my order out there. I get a confirmation there, 11:27, and then I get an order at 11:29, all right. So and my order gets executed like what, 2 minutes later? You know what 2 minutes are? I'll tell you another great situation. I didn't get a photo shot of it, but let me. I did a trade again on my swing trading account, and I'm as much as I'm not, hopefully not sounding like a hypocrite. I have six accounts. I have my IRA with Scottrade, okay, and today there was a big opening stock today called, you know, GoDaddy. Everybody heard about GoDaddy today? It went public? All right. GoDaddy went public today, and I put the order to buy the stock at $25 and $25.85. All right. I get an email 5 minutes later, and they executed me at $26.20. I mean, you're talking about 35 cents. Now, if you bought 1,000 shares, that means I paid $350 for that trade. Could you imagine $350 just came out of my pocket, but woo-wee, I saved $6, right? $7 a ticket. You know, but you know what, G said, I stayed away from it. It was the great mover. I don't know what you stayed away. I'm going to talk about it, but if you had a direct access system, you would have did pretty well on it. So anyway, this is how online brokers kind of make money on your order, and you kind of like, get frustrated, you get frustrated and you think just because you got a cheap ticket charge, you got a great deal, and that's not the case. All right, so basically sometimes you have to, you want to see a change for the better, so you got to take matters in your own hands, and that's what direct access is all about. And it all starts there, okay? Before we can start learning tape reading and finding stocks, you have to understand something. You got to make sure that you have the right account, okay? Couple of questions coming up over here regarding about dark pools and HFTs. Let me explain something to you. Dark pools are what we call have nothing to do with high frequency trades. Dark pools have to do about payment for order flow, okay? And that is what you should be more scared. That's where people get hurt more than anything. A dark pool, just to kind of explain it, it's basically when a brokerage firm is selling stock that they own in inventory. They're not even going out in the market and buying it. HFTs are great because for us, it causes more liquidity. Listen, do you really care about 3/10 of a penny? Okay, is 3/10 of a penny going to change your life on the trade? All right. So, but if you were a mutual fund and you're trading, 100 million shares of stock, yeah, 3/10 of a penny makes a difference. But for you and I trading 100,000 shares, what's 30 cents? You think I'm going to cry for 30 cents? I'm not in the business to make 30 cents. I'm in the business to make $3,000. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you have to look at. So you got to get your, that's why if you ever watch when the Flash Boys were on CNBC, and what was it? I forgot one of the EDGX, the ECM came out, and they had a big argument. Listen, it's not good for Wall Street, but it's great for Main Street, which is what we're on. But at the end of the day, guys, getting back to what we're talking about, you have to and realize that you could take matters in your own hands and work the floor just like these two guys. Now, how do we do that? Well, first of all, you need to know what you're reading. So let's talk about level 2. All right. Who here knows what level 2 is? Everybody know how to read level 2? Everyone here know how to read level 2? Wow, getting a lot of no's. Never used it before. Okay, so let me show you with everyone, and it's okay. Listen, guys, I know there's over 200 of you here, plus, and that's great. That's perfectly fine. And you could admit that you're wrong. You could say no. Listen, nobody's going to pick on you. This is why Andrew wants you here. This is why you're here. 90% of your time is spent on learning, not on trading. All right? So just admit it. Do you know it or you don't? Okay? Well, the question that you have to ask yourself is this. I have one more last question to ask all of you. All right? Can you guys tell me, how do stocks go up and go down? Or how does options go up and down? What drives these things up or down? Okay, supply and demand, right? Could everyone just write that, S&D, supply and demand? All right. Now, some of you are chatting back. They're like, I don't use it, and why do I need it? Well, what's it worth to you if you were able to see all the buyers and sellers out there? Okay, how much better and smarter, more money would you be able to make if you're able to read and see where everybody's buying and selling it from? If you do not find that being important, okay, that's like telling Andrew, Andrew, why'd you work the floor of the exchange? Can't you just do it from your basement? I mean, well, hey, believe me, if everyone here had an opportunity to trade on the floor when he was down there, or or when before the New York was not so quiet and not been so much more electronic, believe me, to buy a seat on the New York Stock Exchange was several $1 million, and you didn't make a penny. That's just to have the VIP access on that floor. Could you imagine that? That's what it costs to do that. All right. So, and you know what? And for some of you here, I know we have some swing traders and investors, but let me explain something to you. To be a good investor and a good swing trader, okay, you got to be a good day trader, because it's what happens over the course of the day, which is going to teach you the discipline part, to know what's going to obviously happen, over the course of a swing trade or an investment. And that's how it works. So let's get into level 2. Let's talk about what it is so I could teach you guys, because there are two very important windows I want to show you, okay? So these are the buyers, and these are the sellers. You have 3 columns. First column is giving you the 4-letter abbreviation of the brokerage firm. EDGX, Archipelago, Bear Stearns, Morgan Stanley, First Boston, Goldman Sachs, Knight Securities. These are all brokerage firms and ECNs, which are exchanges. All right, this is the price they want to buy for, and this is the amount of shares they want to buy. So column 3 is everything there is multiplied by 100, okay? This is the sell side. These people looking to sell it, the price they're looking to sell it for, and the amount of shares they're looking to sell. Now, whoever wants to buy the stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to buy for less money is down at the bottom. Same thing on the bid. I mean on the offer. Sells to the least goes on top, but wants more goes down the bottom. So this is what we call a negotiated system. Okay? So that's basically what we're seeing. Now, let me change my slide here. But there is something called level 3, okay, which is called total view. All right, now, what is the difference between level 2 and level 3? It's about 20 times more data. Now, let me explain to you very carefully, okay? Now, because I didn't realize the importance of this until I lost, I blew up 3 accounts when I first started, all right? And I don't want anybody here to be in that situation. Now, when we go out there and we trade, level 2 is only, now listen to me carefully because a lot of you here are probably, questioning and are saying like, oh yeah, you can't trust it, they're fake orders, it moves too fast. I get it, okay? The reason why, because no one ever taught you. That's why we're here. So let me explain to you the difference. Level 2 is giving you the best bid and best offer, okay? Now, level 3 is giving you all the bids and all the offers. See, when I started, we had something called Instinet. It's called the institution window. So basically, Goldman Sachs is probably a buyer, here at like 260, let's just say, right, 261. But he could be a 10,000 share buyer at $1.98. You see what I'm saying? So, but level 2 won't show you that. Only level 3 will show you that. So you're getting over 20 times more data, which is meaning you're getting 20 times more orders to see. All right. Now, personally, I cannot even see how anybody could trade without seeing where the orders are. And I'll prove it to you. You watch CNBC, you see when they're talking about the broker, when you're on CNBC and you see the floor of the exchange, all right, because that's the only really place you see them very, very frequently. What do you think they're looking at on those screens? They're looking at orders. They're looking at orders. So think about this for a second, guys. How much better, smarter, and more money if you were able to see those orders? I heard only level 3 is available at Goldman Sachs traders. Tony, this is what I'm going to do, Tony. You got 29 bucks? You have $29, Tony? Okay. At the end of this presentation, I will personally guarantee you on your $29, I'll show you every single order out there and every single stock, and you'll get to see that, no, you're totally wrong. Goldman Sachs does not, and any other brokerage firm, are the only ones that get to see it. You get to see it also, and I'll teach you tomorrow morning when the market opens up. Does that sound fair? I personally guarantee it. Are you down for that? All right, good. So don't go anywhere because I still have a lot more to cover, okay? So let me prove it to you. All right, so how do stocks go up and go down? Supply and demand, all right? And how do we do that? We follow the money. So this is where tape reading comes in, all right? So when it comes to tape reading, what we're going to look at is, I know, does everyone here know how to read a chart? Oh, well, everybody's like, can I join? Absolutely. Listen, at the end of the presentation, every single one of you are going to be able to join, okay? I'll show all of you, all right? All right, so everybody here knows how to read a chart? Everybody here know how to read a chart? All right, good. All right, so let's look at a chart right here. And basically, it's a very simple chart, okay? No indicators, no nothing. And when you guys look at a chart, what was the first thing you look at? Like if you're looking at this chart right here, what's the first thing that catches your attention? Like what's the first thing that you were trained on charting 101 to look for? Trend, okay. Everyone says trend, okay. So the trend's going up, right? But the other thing you got to look at is the support and resistance, all right? Now the thing is, do you see the support and resistance levels on this chart, right? Now, are support and resistance levels guaranteed? No, of course. The only thing that's guaranteed today is death and taxes. All right, that's the only thing that's guaranteed. No, but how do we know, how do you really know that that's really a true support and resistance levels, guys? Think about it. How do you really know if that really is a support and resistance? Does anybody know? Denise says you don't. Vince says volume. Paul says orders. Look at that. Ron says level 3. Well, what makes support and resistance levels, everyone? What makes support and resistance levels? Order flow, right? Supply and demand, right? Buyers and sellers. So let me now listen to me carefully, okay? This is where you realize how uneducated most people are in trading, which is okay, you know, because this is why we're here. Because I was one of these people. What is it worth to you if I was able to tell you if that resistance level really is a resistance levels? Because you all just said to yourself and agreed, what makes support and resistance levels is buying and selling. So what more smarter and better trades would you have made if you were able to confirm if that was a support and resistance? Vince says it's worth weight in gold. Wow, I like that one, Vincent. Thanks for sharing that. I never heard that one before. It's definitely worth $29 a month. All right, 15%. Confidence of your signal. Okay, there you go. Now that's more of a logical question. Anyone else want to share? All right. Well, how about if I told you that you could see and confirm if those orders are support and resistance? Now think about it. If you're watching a stock, and I know we have a lot of options traders here, but if you were watching a stock, okay, and you were going to trade an option, and you're buying the option because, remember, the thing about options is that you got to have a game plan, right? You got to always have a game plan. Andrew will teach you that. You got to have a game plan whenever you get into a trade. You just can't sit there and just twiddle your thumbs and you know and hope for the best, you know. But you got to prepare for the worst. So let's go to the telltale window. All right. So we go to the telltale window right here, and now what you're seeing, you're seeing level 3 here in the bottom. All right. So let me just kind of bring up my crayons here. So we know this is resistance levels right here, right? Right there, right? See that resistance levels right there? That resistance levels right there is made by this right there. Everybody see that? See these orders right here? Between those 3 orders, you're talking close to about 12,000. You got to remember, a 100-share order is not resistance. A 500-share order is not going to prevent a stock from going higher. But when you hit a guy, when you got orders out there sitting below, and you're saying, well, why is that stock really hitting a resistance? Well, obviously because there's all those orders out there. Okay? And then you're like, well, what happens if it breaks that order? Can it go any higher? Well, you have an 8,000-share seller out here at 476, you know, and then you know what? You got a 10,000 share order down here at 5, you know, and you know what? When you really look at that 5 order, wow, it sure makes perfect sense at that resistance. And you know what? It it almost got there because probably people saw that order out there before that you did. And even on the support level side, right? Look on the downside. Look at the support level. Where do you see? Let's have a little fun. Everybody ready to have a little fun? Let's do a little pop quiz. Okay? Can anybody tell me where you think the stock will hit a support level? Well, Joan says, why would someone show all their size like that? Were they real? Well, Joan, let me explain something to you. I don't think a brokerage firm will let you put fake orders out there. What you could do, you can ask them tomorrow and then let me know what they tell you. Right? I mean, you can't do that. And and secondly, this is my other question, because a lot of people asking like, are those real orders, or those are fake orders, and I hear those are ghost orders. Let me explain something to you. Why would you even be in the business where people lie? You understand? I mean, other than just somebody's in denial, Now, can someone cancel an order? Of course you could. Why? When you put an order out there, you put a limit order, you can't cancel it? You're not allowed to cancel? There's nothing fake about these orders. They're all real orders. First of all, a brokerage firm won't even let you put a fake order out there. The exchanges will sue the brokerage firms if they found out. Because what happens if they get executed? What are they going to say? Oh, I'm sorry, it was an accident. It was a mistake. Those are real orders. So please, be careful. Now, next thing, a lot of you are asking. Yeah, support levels are right down here. You could see how the stock came right down, right, and bounced right back up. Why did it bounce there? It bounced because you had a 22,000 share buyer out there. Okay? You're talking about 100,000 shares. You understand, ladies and gentlemen? So, that's right. Bingo. Look at that. Somebody even said, oh, light bulb. Okay, exactly. You see? Now, does that seem hard? Does that seem hard? Okay, no. And think about it. How many of you here knew that? Okay? My kid can do this, Tony's saying. Options made easy, Alex. There you go. It is. That's what it really is. It's really how to just make things a lot easier, a lot simpler. You just need to know how to play the game. Okay? I thought hyping. Okay, question right here. Put orders and so on. Once again, and it's okay, and I have nothing against anyone challenging me about these orders, but this is what I'm going to tell you. All right? If I guarantee it that I could prove this to you, are you willing to spend $29? If I can guarantee and prove it to you that I could show you every single time that this happens, and I'm not talking in one example, I'm talking for a whole week. Is anyone interested? Somebody said, I'll double that. Okay, well, guess what? At the end of this presentation, I will personally guarantee if you make an investment for $29, I will show you in a whole week how this happens. All right? So don't go anywhere. But the thing is this. If this is not for you, let's see, like my goal is this. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You know what I mean? It's just like, this is why I love teaching. Because I hate seeing people lose money. You hear so much negativity, and the only reason why you hear negativity of people that lose money is because of ignorance. Nobody wants to take the time to sit there and learn it. They want to try it, lose their money, and then it's, oh, you're wasting your time. And not only that, but you think brokerage firms want you to know how to trade? If you knew how to trade, then they can't trade against you. Okay? They want to go up against people that are uneducated. It's like taking candy from a little kid. But you guys, the reason why Andrew has you here, because he knows that you're smarter than that. And when when Andrew comes and talks to all the students at Cybertrade University, because I'm not an options trader, okay, I trade options, but Andrew will run circles around me, okay? And you've seen him do it, and you've seen him make the mistakes, and so do I. But to be a very good trader, you got to know how to play the game. You got to have that edge. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is more of a tape read. You're reading the tape. You're reading the orders that are out there. You're reading the prints. These are lingos that we use as traders. It's all relative. Well, some of you said, I don't know what you're going to show us for a week. Well, like I told you, I didn't get to that part yet. All right. Tony says Andrew and James are studs. Well, it's part, and you know what? and they're also very good dressers, and they're very good presenters, and they're very good traders. So always remember that. Here's another example. Okay. You could see how a stock is obviously it's actually the wrong this is the wrong one, but right here you could see how a stock on this chart, how a stock has a big buyer out there of 75,000 shares. All right, this is the wrong chart. This chart doesn't belong with this. But you see how orders, you got buyers and sellers. You got 2,200, 2,500, and you got a 75,000 share buyer. I mean, he's at the highest bid. You know, he's bidding for the stock. If he's bidding for the stock's going to go up. Now, we call these iceberg orders. This is what we call them at Cyber Trading University. What we do is when we trade iceberg, when we look for stocks that we trade, we look for those orders. Once again, Joan, they're not fake orders. If you think they're fake, starting tomorrow, this is what we'll do. I will bet you, Joan, I will bet you your $29 to my $10,000 tomorrow. This is what I'll do. I bet you $10,000 for your $30 tomorrow. We're going to see an iceberg order out there, and what I want you to do is I want you to execute it. Okay, I want you to go out there and buy it from that guy. If you don't get executed, I'll give you the 10 grand. If you do get executed, I keep you $30. You want to make that bet? All right, so tomorrow, just make sure you got money in your account. If I'm wrong, I pay you. Okay, you got 200 people to guarantee it. So when we see a big order out there, you're going to take your order and you're going to execute it with your brokerage account. And let's see if you get executed or not. If you don't get executed, if it says fake order on your system or whatever, then I'll pay you the 10 grand. All right? All right. There you go. Well, we'll just have to wait. That's going to be a good one, so I guess nobody's going to want to miss that one tomorrow. All right. So, once again, these are these big orders that are out there. And this is basically how we look for when we go to trades. And remember, I've been doing this for, this is what we used to call the Instinet machine. This is basically what we call how we trade on Instinet, and this is how we basically go out there and we trade when it comes to looking for orders and seeing the block orders. Now, here's another example of a stock, what we look for. You can see how a stock is hitting a resistance levels over here of $5, how it backed off. It's at 5. And you notice here the time and sales window. Anyone here use time and sales? I mean, here's your time and sales window. Okay? So when you have time and sales window, now you can see orders getting executed. So this is also the confirmation to know if these orders out there are getting executed, because you know everyone knows it's resistance levels, but why is resistance? Well, there's 14,000 shares, there's a 6,000 share seller, there's a 13,000 share seller, and once again, if they don't get executed, there's only one other way to do it, to hit those buyers on the bid. Once again, supply and demand and tape reading. Okay? Here's another example. Stock goes up. Why did it go back down? The 10,000 share buyer. So once again, over and over and over again. Can I see the same things on options? A question's coming across. Yeah, well, Andrew could help answer that better, but once again, remember what I told you in the beginning. All right? What I told you in the beginning is that when you trade in the market, all right, when you trade in the market, and being a good options trader, you could, if you look at the level 3, it would help you at least give you some more indication of where the option's going to go, because once again, the option's a little bit more delayed because it gets its data from the stock. And if you know where the orders are, it's going to make you smarter and better trades. All right, so there is level 3. Now let's talk about how to find stocks to trade. Okay, that's the next thing. Now, there's a lot of great software scanners out there you could use. All right, I usually work off a top list. You have to understand something. I don't care what I trade. You know, people ask me like, well, why did you trade Altera, you know, on Friday? And I'll show it to you. Why not? It only went up 10 points in 30 minutes. You know, I mean, what's wrong with that, right? So have I ever traded Altera? I probably haven't traded Altera in like 4 years, you know. Would I trade Apple today? Why? Why would I rather go out there and risk $124 of a stock that only went up a penny today overall, all right, closed at a penny, when I could trade a stock like let me bring this over to you so you could see it. Should be able to see this soon. There you go. A stock like VLTC that was up 152%, okay, and went from $1.80 all the way to $3. There I risked 100 times less money, and I made 150% on my money. What does it do? Who cares? Think I really care what this stock does? All I care about is making money. What do you care about? Making money. So the thing that we all have to understand, yep, cash is king. That's right. Chris says, I love your attitude. Well, listen, I've been there. I've done that. You know, one thing that we teach you at Cyber Trading University is we give you trading journals, and, you know, and you can use it towards your options, Forex, futures, whatever you're doing. And, you know, you just kind of learn a little bit. You kind of learn a little bit exactly how market makers go out there. And, you know, you see that sometimes you just end up turning your wheels, you know, little by little, keep turning your wheels. And it just comes to a point where you don't have to, you know, it's like, why sit there and constantly keep trading the same stock? I could trade something, less money, you know, and less money and more reward, basically. Why? Because we're not investing, ladies and gentlemen, we're trading. And you're right, it is, and it also, Alex, it is a reality, you know? I mean, the reality is, you don't want, people start making things too damn complicated. Everyone's trying to invent the wheel with another great indicator, and next thing you know, the more you think about it, the more confused you get, you know? And I've been there, I've done that, you know? And the thing is, everybody's trying to find the next crystal ball out there. If you learn how to just keep things simple, which we call the KISS method, keep it super simple, you will just understand why these things go up and down the way they do. And how do we do that? Trading 101, following the money. So we're almost done here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll tell you guys in another few minutes how to actually come in, you know, and watch me trade live in the market, because that's basically the ultimate goal. I don't know if you guys have ever, I know Andrew runs a phenomenal, great trading room, and, you know, but, you know, with Andrew, it's okay. You can be in multiple rooms, because depending on what kind of trader you are, what you're looking for, we always piggyback off each other. So let me talk about today's trading day, okay? Let me talk about some stocks that we've traded. This photograph is from this morning, all right? And this is Fausto's morning picks. I don't know if you saw any of these stocks, but, you know, the thing is, we do a meeting at 9 a.m. I start my trading room, actually opens up at 8:30, and all my students are trading in the pre-market. And then I do a live audio broadcast for about 15 minutes, and I talk about some of the stocks we traded. I get all the cyber traders all ready and riled up. We you know, what's moving, what to look for, what we're going to trade, and work together like a team. And these are actually the Twitter feeds of some of the stocks that we traded. I don't know, did anyone trade any of these stocks? Okay, some of you did trade it. By the way, listen, I know there's a lot of you guys sending me emails, a chat, and there's just so many coming across. I'll give you my personal email, and you guys could, you know, once again, just email me, and I'll answer all your questions, okay? So I apologize, John, Mike, Keith, Jose, Joan, all of you guys. Just feel free to send me an email when you're done, and I'll answer for you. But I want to, otherwise I'll be here till like tomorrow. All right, so some of you did, some of you didn't. Okay, so let's look at some of them that did some moves. All right, so here's the stock, CTSO. Okay, now CTSO was a $13 stock last night. It opened up all the way to 7. Now the thing was down literally like 50%. Now some of you be like, oh my God, this is why I don't hold overnights. But where there's a catastrophe, there's an opportunity, okay? So I like to do something called bottom fishing. So, you know, if you could see going back to the morning picks, this was actually one of the morning trades, CTSO, and we talked about it in the morning trades. By the way, you can actually watch the video on YouTube because I record all the morning meetings, so you get to watch them. You usually they get published by 12 o'clock because the conversion and everything. But you can see us talking about it. And right at the open, you can see how the stock went from like $8 all the way up to $10.50 by 12 o'clock. You could actually just traded up until 10 o'clock the first 30 minutes and got out at 9 and still made a good day's pay. All right? Think about it. A point on 1,000 shares, $1,000, times that by 5 days a week, times 52 weeks, you're talking $250,000 business. Okay? This is why people love day trading. You know, it's why people love to trade just in general. So what is it down? So what where it is right now? So, you know, it doesn't matter where it is now. It's where it was going. The best, most volatile time to trade are early in the mornings and the afternoons. Here's another stock that we traded, the DYAX. Did anybody get this stock right here? This was a big winner this morning we had. This is out in this morning's picks. You can see it from our Twitter. Worth watching. We had it in our morning trade right here at 9 a.m. You could see how that thing right at the open at 9:30 goes from 1880 in a matter of what, 15 minutes, it went to almost 21 bucks. $21. I mean, what company, what job pays you more than that? All right? And that's right. We teach it and you do it as a business. Okay? And the thing is, why is it up? Why did it go? You know what? You know why it went up? Because there were bidders bidding it up. That's all I could tell you. Listen, I'm not the big fish. I'm the ant on the floor that just wants the crumbs. Okay? That's all I am. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. All right? I'm not the big whale out there. I'm not looking to move, you know, why it's going. And that's the way how you have to look at it. We're traders. We just follow the money. Andrew was not the biggest trader on the floor, but I can tell you this. He knew who the biggest trader was on the floor, and when he came on the floor, let me tell you, people listen. All right? There are some people that can move markets. And believe me, as a trader, we strategically try to find who that big whale is and try to piggyback him. How many of you here would have loved to trade and be able to follow Goldman Sachs wherever he's going? You know, I don't know if you know this, guys, but Goldman Sachs is, we call him the godfather of Wall Street, okay? He's the most powerful brokerage firm in the world, Goldman Sachs, okay? Like him or not. By the way, does anyone here have an account with Goldman Sachs? Anyone here have an account with Goldman Sachs? Getting a lot of no's here. You know why? Because they asked for $5 million, okay, to open an account with them. Minimum is $5 million. All right, now, where are their profits coming from? 70% of their profits come from trading, their trading desk, okay? Now, I'm going to teach you something else, something very valuable, how smart these guys are, all right? How clever and how profitable they are. Everyone heard of, I assume everybody knows about Hurricane Sandy? Everybody know about Hurricane Sandy? Okay. I was involved with it. Everyone was affected by it here in the Northeast. So anyway, long story short, the day before Hurricane Sandy, Goldman Sachs built a 12-foot sand wall around their building. And everybody's like, what the hell are they doing? They were going to war? Guess what? They were the only brokerage firm opened, okay? And when nobody was around, they were cleaning up. They were the only ones in business. Okay, so once again, these are the people that you want to follow. Now, if you like them, you don't, it's irrelevant. At the end of the day, why are you here? If you don't like the business, then get out of the business. You know, listen, I'm from New York. We shoot straight from the hip. I'm just telling you, being honest with you. This is people that you have to deal with, and you want to know what they're doing because you're just trying to make a living. And that's what it's all about. It's a military mind, is right, Alex. You know? Now, here's GoDaddy. GoDaddy was one of the trades this morning. We teach something called FF flags, which are Fausto flags. And you could see this is actually a pretty good stock. It had a nice little pop when it opened. You could have got in right around 25.80, and it ran all the way to 26.80. We made an announcement as soon as it opened up, and a lot of our traders in our chat room got into it. It was pretty fast, though. IPOs are pretty quick. But, you know, but you could see how the thing, you know, we trade them all. You know, we trade anything that we can make money on it, we're trading it. You know, and that's how it works. Now, this is what we did last Friday. This is my biggest winner last week. Did anybody trade Altera? They may trade Altera. Okay, so Altera, I kind of got upset because I got the stock at like 42. I was in a meeting and I had to run to my desk, and by the time, because there was a rumor of a hostile takeover by Intel with Altera, and Micron and all of them were just chatting away, and we were just trading it. Even if you got in a little late, it's this is 4 o'clock right here, and you know, you could see you still could have pulled out $3 for the last 10 minutes. So it was a great move. Once again, these are the things that we look for as traders. And if you looked at the options on that, if you day trade the options, you would have made a killing on that one too, an absolute killing. So potential income, 1,000 shares, move 50 cents, $500 a day, 20 trading days. You know, you're talking a pretty substantial income right there. It doesn't really require you to make a lot of money when it comes to trading. You don't need a lot. And I think that's where the discipline comes in. And this is something that we do at CyberTrade University. We kind of train you how to be very disciplined. I know Andrew, it's like the first thing we ever trained, okay? We want to make sure that, you know, that you could handle and don't let these stocks get in your skin. You got to have thick skin when it comes up, ladies and gentlemen, and you can't always, you know, shoot for the stars because you're going to lose. You want to hit base hits. You don't need grand slam home runs. You're going to hit grand slam home runs, and you're going to get lucky, and the reason why is you make your own luck because you're just in the right place at the right time. But you can't always think that every trade you do is going to be a home run. And how do you do that? Every single one of you, ladies and gentlemen, every one of you need a mentor. Every single one of you, okay? Let me just kind of remind everybody again, for the ones that logged in late. Remember what I told you before we started? I told you that 70% of the people fail. 70% fail because they don't know how to trade the market. And the reason why they didn't learn how to trade is because no one ever taught them, and they don't want to learn. And believe me, you're not part of that 70% because you wouldn't be here. But at the end of the day, can you still be part of it? Of course you could, but because you need someone to train you. Like, think about it. Would you give your money to someone and never learn how to trade the market? You know, and that's the way how you have to look at it. So if anybody wants to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and watch what we do, more than happy. Those are actually Twitter and YouTube Twitter feeds. You can go out there and read them, ladies and gentlemen, and you can see what we've done. Remember, I've been doing this for 20 years. And you can see the feedback that we get. And, you know, once again, I'd like to thank Andrew for having me here again, because he knows that no matter what, great traders, you know, work together, because remember, we're just trying to make a day's pay. Now, how can we start learning today? Everybody wants to learn about this whole big thing about learning today. All right. Well, CyberTrade University does education for some of the biggest brokerage firms. For some of you in Texas, I'm going to be down there in Dallas and Houston with TradeStation in May 7th and 9th. Thinkorswim traders, I will be down doing a live broadcast with them on the 29th of April. And there's a bunch of other ones who do at FXCM and Trade Monster and all of them. So feel free. You know, once again, a lot of these brokerage firms know that, you know, that if they can teach their clients how to make money, they'll keep you forever. So, you know, and there's a reason why, you know, we do speakings for them, because once again, they know what we teach kind of works, and they want you to know how to do it right. Because the last thing they want is they don't want you to fail. You know, they want to keep a client. It's very expensive to acquire a client, and they know the main reason why they fail is, you know, because you guys don't know what you're doing. And understand something, they're not traders, okay? They're in the brokerage business, not in the trading business. For some of you also, we were ranked #1 school by Equities Magazine 6 years in a row, so we're pretty excited about that. And just if some of you missed it, I was a 12-time world champion where, you know, at the Money Shows and Traders Expos. Now, how do you become a better trader? Well, this is what I'm going to offer everybody. For $29 for today only, all right, I'm going to offer you guys 5 days, 5 trading days in my live trading room, okay, and money back guaranteed. If I can't show you stocks of 20, 50, 100% a day, listen, no question asked, you got your money back, all right? So if you guys want to see the high-frequency trades, if everybody wants to see Joan loses $10,000 tomorrow. Definitely want to make that opportunity to see it. And how you register, ladies and gentlemen, very simple. Let me just bring up the web page if you want to register and come and join. Go right to the home page of the website, CyberTrade University. And right here on the right-hand side is the actual link. And if you just click here, sign up, it's right there. And I'll actually just put it in the chat room. I don't know, you guys should be able to see that right there. All right. Let me just fix this screen. There you go. Or if you like, you can call 877-70-CYBER, and we'll be able to, and 877-70-CYBER, and you could talk to any of the education advisors here at CyberTrade University, and they'll be happy to help you get signed up. All right. When does the trading stop? How long is it? You're going to have it until next week. So you'll start tomorrow, and you'll have it from Thursday to Thursday. Any other questions? What does well, that's right. The market's closed on Friday. I know, and your subscription actually is for 5 days, so your subscription will end next Friday. Okay? That's right, because you're going to lose a day because of the holiday for Good Friday. But once again, money back guaranteed. Try it for 5 days. And you know what? This is what I kind of tell everybody. Don't judge me by my winners. Judge me by the losers. Okay, and see how few I have, all right? Because everybody's like, listen, we're talking about these great winners, and everybody wants to know, well, what about the losers, you know? And how do you control these losers, you know? Well, you're going to be in a live trading room online from starting at 8:30 in the morning, starting tomorrow morning, and you're going to go through all next week. Now, when you register, you're going to notice that there's, you know, you're going to get a couple of videos. You're all going to be signed an education advisor. You know, and just sit back and just watch and enjoy. And not only that, don't even, and the thing is, don't watch, you know, me make money. Watch the other students that we've trained make money, and then that will kind of help you, you meet the Bretts and the Tims and the Larrys and the Johns, you know, where the guys are making, you know, thousands of dollars a day. You'll see them in the trading room. What is the cost after the promo, Michael? After, if you want to move forward, it's only $67 a month. That's it, $67. So the trial is $29 for the first week. After that, it's $67 a month after that in a live professional trading room. And we talk, and there's some about the stocks too. You know, we'll talk about futures. We'll talk about Forex. You know, we'll talk about a little bit of everything, swing trading. What is the Cyber Group Pro? The Cyber Group Pro is actually the pro course. That's the trading room, the Cyber Group Pro. And once again, it's fully guaranteed. Any other questions? The course is more than a promo. Does that subscription nearly double? No, it doesn't double. That's just the initial. You know, that's just the fee what we charge for the startup costs. Oh, if you guys want my email address, right here. There's my email. There's my personal email address, FaustoP@CTU Corp. Okay, just feel free to email me, or you can contact, you know, Andrew, or you know, you could, and they'll be able to give you my email also if anyone has any issues. Well, Tony, we changed it. We changed it. Right, it's going to be $297. There's a pro version, and then we're changing it from silver, gold, and bronze. Some of the higher end ones will allow you to get all the free workshops that we do, and, you know, traders talk and a lot of coaching on the higher end. But just to be active to a trading room, what I do the morning and afternoon meetings, what to trade, and during the trading day, it's going to be 67. So we make 3 different levels. But just to kind of let you guys know, after the $29, we're not going to bill you. You know, listen, when we don't play that game. If you want to move forward, you let us know. If you're not interested, no problem. When, you know, bygones be bygones. You will see level 3 in the trading room. Absolutely. You'll see the orders. You're going to see the iceberg orders that we talked about. Absolutely. Our room opens up at 8:30 Eastern Time. I do a live audio broadcast at 9 a.m. All right. And then we go from 9 to 9:15. We trade the open. We're running all day. We run some audio broadcast in the middle of the day, and then we'll trade the close. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is the link again? Does everyone have it under the chat? You should have it up on the chat. Does everybody see that in the chat window? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Did you guys get it right now? It should come up right now on the audience chat. Does everybody see that? I put the wrong link. I didn't do it to public. All right. So you go to cybertradinguniversity.com. Right here in the right-hand side, Cyber Group Pro Trading Chat Room. You click right there. Money back guaranteed. 5 days. Sign up. Click right there on the right, and we'll get you signed up. All right? No problem. Thanks for coming, John and Mike and Bill. I'm glad you guys learned a lot. Listen, that's why we're here, and that's why Andrew is, wanted me here because, listen, a lot of you guys are very big options traders, okay? And if you know how the stock moves, you'll be that much better of an options trader. And not only that, but it will also give you the opportunity to say, wow, look at this stock making a big move. Are there any options on it? Because you might get very cheap options on those stocks and great opportunities. And then you know what? You see it in my room, you go and you ask Keen, say, hey, Keen, check out these options. You like them? You're like, oh, my God. He'd be like, where'd you find that stock? And you know what? That's how you make money, okay? Because if you ask Andrew himself, he doesn't really care what he trades. He just wants to make money, just like all of us. There is no real promotion code. You don't have to click on that. Just click on the 29. I got mine for 2 quantities. I really only want 1. Update. There you just click update and that will process your order right there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. You have to write quantity 1 up there on the checkout. Well, Jeff, once again, if you want to know how to move forward and continue, if you like it, listen, if you like being in the room and you think it's worth it, all I'm telling you is this. Talk to the education advisor that you're all going to be assigned to, and he'll tell you exactly what you need and what you don't need, okay? And he'll tell you, they'll tell you, because some of you, and then some of you really want to learn how to do it. They'll tell you some courses that we do. We do on-site courses here in New York. I know Andrew's actually planning to come here to talk to our on-site class. These are kind of events that we run here at Cyber Training. Michelle, how do you get level 3? Listen, tomorrow when you log in, we'll talk about that in the Cyber Group room. Okay. All right then. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, listen, thank you so much for coming. I got to go. I know my wife is texting the hell out of me because I got to watch my kids right now because she has to go step out and buy a gift for somebody. So it's getting a little late here in New York. I got to kind of work with the traffic getting back to my house. But in the meantime, guys, listen, I look forward to see all of you tomorrow. And, once again, guys, remember, the cheapest trade you're going to make is get yourself educated. And it's okay to learn from multiple people, okay? You should be buying Andrew's courses. You should be learning everything that you can. Listen, I sit in Andrew and learn, and I'll do whatever it takes because anything that gives you an edge. And great traders, the way how you become a great trader is surround yourself with great traders. And you have to make sure that when you're in a room, do you see great traders in there? Are they doing good, But sitting out there by yourself, in a room, trading and not knowing what's going on and in your basement trying to watch some screens, listen, it's painful, it's terrible, you don't want to do that. All right, guys? But listen, look forward to see you all tomorrow. And I missed the boat with you. That's okay, Zoltan. Don't worry. You didn't miss anything. All right? Remember one thing. The market's never going out of business. All right? Everyone, thank you very much for coming. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Have a great day.